Hello and welcome to the Buckets and Tea NBA show. I'm your host, Cathryn. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Joining me today, you know him, you love him. It's Esfandiar Baraheni.
Hello, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? Cathryn, it's a pleasure, as always. Shout out to the Raptors Republic crew. We're doing some great stuff this year. Yeah, excited,
you're doing a lot of great stuff this year. We gotta talk about what you're doing.
I'm just living life, man.
Okay, no, first of all, you are now a host of the NBA Daily Show.
Yes.
On The Athletic.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, applause all around. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that. What's happening with that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Pretty much like a recap show every morning, so you can. It's like bright and early at 6 in the morning. It's on your podcast feed.
Stop.
You can listen
6
to it.
a.m.
I don't record at 6 a.m. We record at like
Thank God.
We record at like 1 in the morning at night instead, because I'm up watching the games anyways. I'm a
night owl myself. Yeah,
me too. I was a night owl before this job, and so it's like seamless transition. But yeah, so we do little recaps of the game. So anything you missed, any little games or whatnot, any moments, we kind of talk about it, and you can listen to it on The Athletic. So yeah,
is it on YouTube also?
Yes, it is also on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, you'll have a subscriber then.
Thank you.
Because I like having my podcasts on YouTube because I have them on sort of in the background when I'm doing work.
Cool.
And I just find it easy to have another tab open.
That's really impressive to me, concentration wise, because like I'm one of those people that I can't have anything else playing while I'm working. I need to be in like a dungeon where I am locked away and finishing the work. Like that's what I need to do. I know people who listen to music, they'll like watch a game, they'll cut up whatever, they'll be reading even sometimes. And it's just like, I do not have that skill.
No, you sound like a normal person, and based on everything I know about you, you very much are, in the best way. I am like undiagnosed on the spectrum.
Now I'm offended. I'm not normal.
No, you're special.
Thank you.
You're special, but you're normal in that you get to excel in regular ways.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm the worst. But no, like I like to listen to things as I work. But if I'm doing creative work, then I can listen to like instrumental music, no lyrics.
Right. Yeah. Like montage music, like you're cutting up.
There's like a beats playlist on Apple that I use.
I've always wanted to be that type of person, but doesn't seem like it's in the cards for me, really.
No, that's good. That's
it
good.
Doesn't. Yeah.
You've got an office in your home.
Yes.
So you've got a place where you can get away from everyone.
Yeah. It's like, again, dungeon life.
From your family and all the amazing Persian food they make you on a regular basis.
That is correct. Although I've had to give up Persian food for the last couple of months.
How? Why?
Slimming down, baby.
Stop
I'm trying to cut away. I'm trying to cut
carbs. There's got to be healthy Persian food.
Unfortunately, and if anybody knows, John Cena actually had a really good clip about this because his wife is Persian and whatever. So like we have too much bread and rice and potatoes and stuff involved in all of our foods. And it's just too much. Like, it's not tolerable for me, especially when it comes to losing weight. Like, you can't have that much carbohydrates.
The rice is also that beautiful crispy rice.
Yes, I know. It's the best.
I love that crispy rice. And then you have it with like yogurt and stuff.
Yep. There's a little truck stop thingy in California where they use the crispy rice as a taco shell.
Stop.
Mamma mia. I don't even know why I did that. But
Is
It's
that what
delicious.
Persia did before the
Yes.
Romans took
Yeah,
over?
exactly. There was we don't need to get into it, but there was a really funny Arabic comedian on SNL recently, and he's like, Middle Eastern people are basically just like hairier Italian people, and he does a whole thing. You should watch it. It's really, really good. But
That's amazing.
yes. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we should get into some NBA stuff.
So
But we always
basketball.
we
Right.
gotta do the life stuff first, because that's
Yeah.
what I do. That's what I care about. You know
Agreed.
what I mean? I
Agreed.
care about basketball also, but I
I
care
think
about you as a human.
Thank you. I think the people who come on the show in the first place and listen are looking for the lighthearted chats. They're looking for all right, let me tap in and listen to a good conversation. So for the people who are tapping in, you listen to a great conversation right now.
We're telling you it's a great conversation. All right. So, okay, basketball. The season is upon us.
Yes.
We had our opening night madness. A lot of I would say early panic in the air. Although to some degree, I'm joining those people. So we're going to start with doing some NBA stuff first. Then we're going to do the Raptors stuff. But how do you feel about the start of the season so far? Are you like rolling back on some of your early takes already? Like where are you at right now?
Are we for Raptors or just the NBA in general?
Just NBA first.
So
then we'll do Raptors.
Yeah. I honestly, when it comes to the NBA, like I haven't had any massive take yet. I don't feel anything that like jumped out to me. Although, I just think it's really fun to look at some of the new faces, or well, not new faces, but new teams, like the way they look. Like obviously, we didn't get a chance to see Paul George and the Sixers yet that much. But we got to see Karl Anthony Towns in the Knicks, and they didn't look that great in their debut against the Celtics. They just looked abysmal. JJ Redick looks like a good coach for game one. Like that's my main overreaction. It's like, wow, JJ, very good coach, and I think if you look at some of the other games, like James Harden, Intuit Dome looks cool. The new arena for the Clippers looks really cool. If you saw some of that stuff, again, I don't know if it's an overreaction or some kind of take that I have for you, because there isn't really anything there right now. There's not much. There's not much in the tank other than the fact that like I'm just happy to have the NBA back. It has now consumed my nights though, and
every night.
Yes, every night.
Every weeknight?
Every night.
Oh, you don't get like a single night off.
I will eventually be able to get some nights off, but between this
it's Saturday night, it's
there's gonna be days. There's gonna be days like that. There's gonna be days. Not right now though. Not right now. But there will be those days.
If you need a quirky fill in, let me know.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm around sometimes. If I don't have a show and or plans,
all right.
You
live a much cooler life than I do. I'm just like stuck in this dungeon.
This is just called being single, But okay, look, I have an over exaggeration, or maybe not, but
okay.
Last week on this podcast, with Jerome doing like the early, like, what do we think is going to happen? Predictions, blah, 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 blah. I was really high on the Knicks. I said the Knicks would be in the finals against, I believe I said Dallas. Okay. And I think that's because I don't want Boston to be in the finals. This is a Boston hater podcast. Everyone knows that, there's so many pro Boston podcasts. We got to even it out a little.
Yeah.
But you don't come out looking that bad and then making the finals. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. You don't start the season that poorly and then you're in the NBA finals. Like I've watched so much basketball over the years. I looked at that team and I'm like, I don't know what they are. They are not finals bound. They are not championship bound. You got to take a matchup against Boston more seriously. I don't care if it's October. Like I was really, really disappointed. And unless they treat that like the ass whipping that it was and decide like, okay, we have to get our shit together, it's not happening for them. And I'm really disappointed because I wanted them to be like my league pass team of the year, like, you know, the super fun team to watch outside of our bubble. And they're not. And I don't know, I'm not going to go so far to say like they peaked, but they are not what I think all of us were hoping they would be. And I know it's only been one game, and that's why it's an over exaggeration. And I know I just swore on this podcast, but
I didn't even realize it.
I think I swear on this podcast.
Yeah.
But I've like, it was enough for me to be like, no, this team is not the team I was hoping they would be.
I like that overreaction because I think it's, again, it's like one that you have to make after seeing them absolutely get destroyed by the Celtics, because the Celtics are their main competition. Like, that's the team they got to beat to get to the finals, you know? And they just look so outmatched. And I hate to be the guy who's like, well, the Celtics
Boston
look really good.
looks so good, though.
Yeah, they do. They look really good.
And all these people that are like, ooh, person gets his injury. He doesn't matter. He doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
At least not in the Eastern Conference. He doesn't matter.
Yeah. When they get to the finals, if they have to face somebody, then sure.
Yeah, like if they're facing Denver or something, it's going to matter. But like, no, he doesn't matter.
Yeah, to your point, like it felt like the Knicks, the way that they played, it just felt like they had never played with each other. And so I think that's one thing that I would maybe, if I had to push back on the overreaction, I would probably say it's like, well, they also look like they never played. And so I bet you the Knicks struggle out the gate a little bit and, you know, to find their footing and figure out how they're supposed to play. But I bet you by like game 30, they look really, really good.
They'll convince us they're good.
Yeah. Eventually they will.
We'll forget about this game in, you know, all-star break times.
Sure. Yeah.
And then when they lose in the second round,
you'll be back to this game. You'll be
like, you know, when they lose to Indiana or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. We'll be all over it again. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw people on Twitter being like, both teams lost this trade with Minnesota and stuff. I don't know if I'm going that far just yet, but I was really disappointed. Apparently, Mikal Bridges like doesn't have a shot anymore for some unknown reason.
That was bizarre. Well,
wish I knew that before my fantasy draft. What the hell?
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had Mikal Bridges last year, and I made the choice not to pick him this year. Had the option.
I should have consulted you.
It's all right. It's all good.
I have Wemby though again 2 years in a row. I have Wemby.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
And I won last year.
Yes, we both did. By the way,
that's right.
You remember we did a little celebration there.
We're winners, baby.
Yeah. I'm excited for fantasy this year. But I agree. I can see the world in which the Knicks struggle this year and like aren't getting things quite adjusted. I would also say they're kind of injured. No Precious Chua, no Mitchell Robinson.
They're playing like their fourth center or something.
Yeah. So like there's that too. And I just think they need time. Also, Minnesota needs time. Like Minnesota against the Lakers, they also look like they had never played each other. They just look like they met each other 5 minutes before the game. You know, and so I think we do need to give them some time. I hate to be that guy though. I want to overreact. I want to tell you.
No, but the thing is that you're a professional.
I don't think so.
You are. You're a professional, and I'm a weirdo. And
I get paid now to overreact to things. We even did an overreaction thing the other day with The Athletic. You know, it's like
so fun.
Overreact to this thing, but also, I guess my overreaction would be like, damn, the NBA is not going to lose to, like, the Celtics are going to win it again. Like, that's my overreaction. It's like there's nobody in the NBA that could beat the Celtics.
I don't think there's a team that looks better than them right now.
Yeah, but maybe
they haven't skipped a beat at all.
Yeah. Maybe OKC. We'll see. They play.
Maybe you got to send more teams to Dubai, right? Like, who knows?
Yep.
Speaking of overseas training camps, if we want to move on.
Okay, sure.
This team had their training camp in the Bahamas.
Oh.
Allegedly. All these teams get to have their training camps as a vacation now.
Yeah, Nick Nurse has done weird stuff the last 2 years with the Sixers. So they went to Boulder, Colorado the first time because he wanted to play this mental game with the Nuggets.
Is that like a fancy town?
Boulder, Colorado? I don't think so. I actually think it's just like a bunch of potheads. But at least from South Park, that's all. I only know Boulder, Colorado from South Park. But I think he did it because he was like, oh, Joel Embiid never plays in Denver, so we're gonna do our training camp in Denver and put it and make it a statement.
Oh
and
my God.
Obviously, that's a very Nick Nurse thing.
But Boulder isn't Denver.
Yes.
It's just Colorado.
I think it's like nearby. You know, it's like Newmarket to Denver. I don't know. I can't. I would be lying to you if I knew exactly.
But what if it's like a fancy Newmarket?
Hey,
like
hey.
a rich.
We got some.
Are you in Newmarket?
We got some nice spots here in Newmarket.
Oh, you're in Newmarket.
Hey, that's why
I don't think I've been.
You're not missing anything out. Look, that was why I was late to this wonderful podcast. I was stuck on the damn 400 trying to get back up here.
We're all just stuck in traffic. It's Toronto. It's insane.
Yes, and it just feels like Toronto is worse than any other city I've been to traffic-wise, by the way. And now I've now gone to Los Angeles. I've experienced that putrid LA traffic, and I'm here to say that Toronto's is way worse. It's not even comparable.
I don't know. I was in traffic for an hour and a half in LA once.
We've done that here, you know.
But fortunately, I had a very nice like Lyft driver,
right?
So we and a female Lyft driver. So
nice.
That was also nice.
Yeah, it exists. Look, it's so much work. Man, I could go.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. We'll do a traffic podcast and we'll share our horror stories another day.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's introduce the topic because I just started going on about the Bahamas and how weird Nick Nurse is. So R.I.P. sexy Nick Nurse. You know, he's just grumpy Nick Nurse now. Joel Embiid and the 76ers are now up for a possible investigation from the NBA after they announced that Joel Embiid would not play any back-to-back games this season. And the injury he has now, because he didn't play the opening game against Milwaukee, neither did Paul George, is up for question because he played during the Olympics and I guess he participated in training camp, blah, blah, blah. So how do we feel about this whole possible investigation thing? Do we think this is legit? Do we think it's BS? Do we think Joel should play if he's healthy regardless? Do you think it's wise to sit him out on back-to-backs? Like, where are we on this issue?
I think it was because the Sixers were open with how they were going about this.
It's just the fact that they said it.
Exactly. Like during preseason, they're like, hey, Joel Embiid isn't going to play in preseason and he's going to rest back-to-backs this year. And we have this new management plan to rest his knee. And so he's likely not going to play in 65 games. And so the NBA was like, whoa, what are you doing to our money? You know, that's what it was when they detailed this massive plan. And it ended up being that, like, I think they also said that he was going to miss the first 3 games of the year, which is such a specific number too. It's like he's missing the first 3 games.
Not even like the first week, and then we'll reassess. Yeah.
It's like he's not playing these first 3 games. And so I think it's part of the openness stuff. You know, it's like it's funny because the NBA wants transparency and they want teams to be open and say things and whatnot, but also they want it to a limit because they have gambling money involved now, because they have TV rights involved now. And so it's just about that. And so they can't, like, I don't know if many people watched Sixers versus Bucks on Wednesday night because they knew that Joel Embiid and Paul George just weren't playing, even though that was a nationally televised game. So I think that's part of it for the NBA. It's like,
but even if you tune in off the top and they're not playing, you might not stick around for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Totally. Unless you're a Sixers fan. Yeah.
Adam Silver only cares about money. He does not care about anything else. He does not think about what's best for the game necessarily. He thinks about what's best for his pockets and the NBA's pockets. So I'm with you on that. I think Joel Embiid has enough of a history of injuries that I think just being like he's not playing back-to-backs is fair.
Yeah, it's very fair.
And I think the NBA shouldn't even have back-to-back games. Like that to me is kind of on them. Like why, people have been calling for that for years. Like why so many back-to-back games? I think they have something like 14.
It's about 14 per game per team. About some teams get like 13, some teams get 12.
So it's like that's not nothing.
No,
and I think like when I think back to our championship season with Kawhi, I don't think any of us gave a shit if Kawhi didn't play back-to-back games. We knew what we were
signed up for. Yeah,
totally. We knew what we signed up for.
I think that's what actually started this stuff, though. Like,
it's 1,000% what started all of this.
Yeah, like Kawhi, the trickle down effect, and like it's funny because today there was this report, apparently that there is someone who is suing the LA Clippers for using experimental treatment and like bad, wrongful treatment to Kawhi, illegal treatment for his injuries, unsafe and illegal treatment for Kawhi's injuries. This was like a former athletic trainer apparently, or something like that for the Clippers. So that's like, this is new story, new vibe. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. That just happened.
Okay, that is breaking news though. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and
one of my bold predictions for this season, which is a sad one, is that I think Kawhi's going to retire.
He's not giving up that money, man. That's a lot of money to give up.
Well, he's got 1 year on his contract.
No, he just signed a new contract last year. It's like another 3 years.
But he can't play.
Even if it means playing.
Look,
like
but he's got a contract. They'll do some sort of buyout situation, and then they'll do their random insurance thing. Like
no, if he retires,
John Wall.
If he retires because of injury, he gets none of the money back. Or
okay, so then he'll just be like low key sent home, and he won't actually like announce the retirement. Then
yeah, maybe
that's a loophole, but it's. Come on, like this guy has been injured so much. Like I'm worried he won't even be able to walk when he's older.
Yeah, I mean he has that. He has this degenerative knee issue, which was the case in Toronto too. Like that's what he had, and that's why they were managing it like they did in Toronto. And it's funny because it's kept coming up: the ACL, the MCL injuries, meniscus injuries, et cetera, et cetera. It's just tough because like. You consider the last 5 years of Kawhi's career, and I saw that quote from him a couple of days ago where it's like, oh, I went to the Clippers instead of the Lakers to build a legacy. And I think if we were to zoom back to 2019, after the championship and his decision to go to the Clippers instead of going to the Lakers or even staying in Toronto, I think that is a valid statement to make. Like Kawhi, if he went to the Lakers, it would have been like, hey, I'm joining this super team and we're going to dominate. He couldn't have built his own legacy. It would have been attached to LeBron James. His legacy in Toronto was already made because of the incredible year that he had in 2019. And arguably it was only going to go down from there. And we now see that would have been the case. If he had stayed here for the last 5 years, likely scenario is that like, the same injuries, same situation, same degenerative stuff. And like the Raptors are going through this situation as well.
There's a world that we would have repeated in 2020 because he was healthy in the bubble.
Yeah, totally.
But that was his last one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's his last healthy playoff run. But with Joel, I'm very pro them resting Joel Embiid and them treating Joel Embiid the way we treated Kawhi in 2019.
I think the NBA is probably okay with that too. I just don't think the NBA likes it being out there. Like, hey, we're doing this,
But we put it out there.
Yeah, I know.
And now Adam Silver's like made these rules, like, about resting players, load management. And then rules about how you have to play so many games to qualify for awards. And it's like, all those rules to me are just about money.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I don't think those rules are about the benefit of like the players or anything like that. But
this is such a big season for the Sixers too. I mean, like you think of.
Oh, it's a real make or break. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, they spent so much money. And like Paul George isn't the healthiest guy either, you know? He's been injured as well alongside Kawhi for the last 5 years. So like there's a lot of questions with Philly. And I also think Clippers fans are more forgiving than Sixers fans will be if PG is hurt again and in Philly. Like it'll be a whole
Yeah, that's
different
true.
conversation, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I agree with you. I think the Embiid stuff, like this is it's gonna happen. There's no big issue with it or opening up an investigation. That's just
And I don't think they care about the fines. I think if the league fines them whatever amount of money, they'll just be like, fine, whatever, it's worth it for us to just eat the fine and keep going as we're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also think too, like, you know, when I look at this at the 76ers, you know, even though with the Raptors, you know, with Kawhi sitting out, blah, 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 we still had Kyle Lowry as like a leader. And I don't see the Sixers having that in the same way, even though Kyle Lowry is on that team, but he's not like the leader of that team.
No. Yeah.
So I feel like that also makes a bit of a difference. And yeah, you know, it's a weird history. There's got to be like a lengthy 30 for 30 doc on this team at some point, because when you look at like almost 15 years ago, the whole like tank, we are just going to unapologetically tank to where we are now. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think they did the best they could with the Ben Simmons scenario. They spun that the best way any GM ever could. Like Daryl Morey, you know,
getting James Harden is huge.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, I've always wanted to do like a Succession type TV show for the Sixers. Like that would be sick, you know, like front office.
Oh God.
Yeah, like
I just became wacky inflatable tube guy over it.
Like can you imagine like it opens up, first scene is Brian Colangelo realizing that someone found his Twitter burner account. And like he gets fired. And
that's the series premiere.
That's the opening scene. That's the opening scene for this thing. It's
no,
like
I want to see him creating the burners. I want to see the process of him creating the burners and then the downfall. We gotta milk this series. We gotta milk the series as
that'll be the season 1 finale.
I will gladly write that show.
It's such a damn good idea. And you can call it like you don't have to even use the Sixers name, you know what I mean? You don't have to use Philadelphia. Like you can just it's just so good. I don't know why no one has thought of it, because the NBA really is like a reality TV show, and the success of shows like Succession and like some of these other like businessy shows like Industry. I don't know if you watch Industry, but people love Industry as well. I think there is a real thirst for that type of show. I don't know why it doesn't exist. I think it should.
Well, yeah, I mean like Winning Time.
Yeah, Winning Time was there, but it just God damn, why did it get it canceled? Like how did that?
Yeah, I season 2 wasn't as good as season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow they fumbled that, which was dumb. And then the Clippers show. Oh my God.
Well, let's chalk that up as like Fubu or what? What's that like streaming
Fubu?
Service that does the really bad? No, not Fubu, not Fubu.
Forest Bias.
No, not Fubu. That's the clothing brand. There's like a really bad streaming service that is just like Tumi. I think is it Tumi?
Tumi?
I can't remember.
There's a movie.
No,
Tubi?
I can't remember.
Timu?
Tubi? Timu? Yeah, Timu Fubu. Let's do that. Like that's
Imagine Timu started having a streaming service.
So like that was what the Clippers show was.
No, it was so horrendous.
Yeah.
So horrendous. The casting of these players is very hard.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I learned from the Clippers series. I was like, the casting of these guys is not easy.
So this is what I would do. If I were to do a Succession type of show like this, I would make it very little about the actual basketball on the court or the players. it would just be a front office GM
boardroom drama.
And like, yes, you get introduced to the players. Yes, you hear about them. You hear that they're stars and whatnot. But there's no like for like, this is Joel Embiid. This is Ben Simmons. This is whatever. This is Greg Chalmers, and he is the star of the Philadelphia Flyers. You know, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I like this. And so it's like based on that, but it's not like you're trying to cast Joel Embiid.
Exactly.
It's like you, yeah. I agree.
Inspired by the events, you know.
That's a better way to approach it. And then if you're inspired by, then you can create drama beyond the real life drama.
Yeah.
And then also you can have more basketball scenes if it's just inspired by.
Also true. Yeah.
I like this a lot, S.
Yeah. So
but what's the tone? Is it HBO? Is it HBO? Is it like female nudity? Like, where are we going with this?
I think it should be HBO, but I think, you know how Succession toggled the line of like, this show's kind of funny, you know?
Yeah.
Where, right, that is the vibe that's the tone you should be going for. For example, you go back and you watch The Sopranos right now, and I genuinely think The Sopranos is more of a comedy than it is a drama. And like, there's moments where you're like, this can't be real life. This is more of a comedy than what it is. And so Sopranos that that tone of like, making a joke out of it without making a joke out of it is the vibe.
I always wanted a spinoff of The Sopranos with the therapist.
Yeah, that would be sick.
With Lorraine Bracco, is that her name? Her real name? Yeah. Being the therapist of a mafia boss could have easily been its own show.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, man, what a missed opportunity that was.
Kind of like how I have it right here. Better Call Saul was for Breaking Bad. It's like being the lawyer of a meth dealer would be freaking incredible content.
But what's her name? Christopher's girlfriend on the show.
Yeah.
She left the show to be in Joey.
I remember,
which was
Joey.
the Friends spinoff.
Yeah.
And that was a disaster. So I think people were like afraid to do spinoffs. Turn off your phone, buddy.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here.
I know you were stuck in traffic.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm not that upset. I'm just being dramatic. A show, a comedy for me, and then I promise we'll move on and talk about basketball again.
Okay.
I stumbled upon on YouTube reruns of the Ricky Lake Show.
Oh, how I've heard the name. Okay.
I asked Chelsea if she knows who Ricky Lake is, and she only knew Ricky Lake from an episode of Dancing with the Stars. It was very upsetting. Ricky Lake had a talk show. Okay. And it was like, and because it was the 90s, they had topics you could never have today. They have an episode called "You're Too Fat to Be My Friend." It's so funny. That would never be a topic today.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
And it's like, you dumped me, but look at me now. And like, oh my God, it's
wow.
So
I don't remember.
Good.
I don't remember this at all. That's crazy.
It's so funny. It's like there was this guy who wanted to propose to an ex-girlfriend. Like they broke up. He was filled with remorse. He's like, not only do I want to get back together with her, I want to propose. And so he gets down on one knee, and the audience is freaking out, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I have a poem. And then he starts reading the poem, and the poem is about her panties. And then Ricky was like, you were doing really well until the panty poem. And I was losing my mind. She said no.
Of course she did. As she did. Yeah, of course.
On national television.
This is nuts. That's crazy.
The 90s were a different time. Imagine if that happened today, the amount it would just go on TikTok and people cared. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
I always wonder, like, man, the amount of shit people got away with in the 90s compared to now. It's like, that was only 30 years ago.
Yeah. And one thing I've learned from watching that show, it was a more superficial time.
For sure. Oh,
which
yeah.
I don't think people like look at the 90s from that lens necessarily, but when you watch stuff from that era, it's like, oh yeah, things were really superficial.
Oh, yeah.
At least on television.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, like, wasn't Baywatch like one of the main
Yeah,
shows?
Baywatch.
Right? Like, right?
Well, now
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson has a whole comeback, which is fun.
Is she? Does she? Is she coming back?
Yeah. She did a documentary on Netflix, which was really successful. And now she's in a new movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, and it premiered at TIFF.
Sick.
And it was well received.
Okay. Shout out to Pamela. Okay.
Okay. Well, speaking of in earlier time, LeBron James is still in this league.
Very
and
nice.
he played with his son, Bronny.
Mhm.
It felt on the broadcast like this was a really monumental moment.
Right.
They brought Ken Griffey Jr. And his father, who is just Ken Griffey, I guess.
They do go by senior, apparently.
Senior.
Yeah. So
to this game.
Yes.
Because this game allegedly had significance. And I felt the feels on the broadcast. Like they did a good job, like making you feel something. I felt.
Yeah.
But this means nothing. Right?
What?
Does this mean something?
It does. It's like,
what is this? Okay, what does this mean?
It's like the
like
solar
Ken
eclipse.
Griffey Jr. was like a star. He was like the face of baseball.
Right. Yeah. But I think it says more about LeBron than it says about his son. I think the fact that he got old enough and is still playing at that level to even play with his son is crazy.
Or to will his son to be on his team.
Yeah, to have the power to be able to get his son onto the team. I also think like this is similar to like a solar eclipse. You know, everybody is like, oh my God, today at 6:05 p.m., we're all going to Niagara Falls and we're going to get the little glasses, and the glasses will be able to protect us from the solar eclipse, and we'll be able to watch the moon and the sun.
Did you miss the solar eclipse? Like, what do you have against the solar eclipse?
No, I think how big of a deal people make of it is ridiculous. It's like, this is just something that happens, man. All right, cool. So yeah, we're going to see the sun and the moon kiss, and it's going to be incredible, and it's going to be such a rare moment. And in sports, we have our solar eclipse, which is a son and a father playing with each other, which is pretty crazy. It's not that common, right?
No.
It's much like an eclipse. It's pretty rare. Although apparently I feel like we get an eclipse every like 5 months now, but maybe that's just me being stupid and not knowing astrology. But yeah,
I love this analogy. This is like a real 10 out of 10 analogy on your part.
Thank you.
You gotta coin this. You gotta run with it. But I do think that like somehow the eclipse hurt you. And I do I feel this resentment about
I'm a different person after the eclipse.
Were you working? Were you indoors? Like, where were you?
So we've had a couple of them. One time I remember I was working in a mall and I wasn't able to go outside to enjoy it. And this was the same day where Trump looked at it directly, and people were making fun of the fact that he directly looked at it instead of using the little glasses, whatever. There was another time in which everybody was going to Niagara Falls to see this massive eclipse, remember? And the traffic was crazy. And you know how I hate traffic. We just talked about that. So there's these things that bug me, grind my gears.
What day was it? April 8th?
Sure.
2024.
Sure. You remember that? That's impressive. That's great.
I have a calendar. Where were you?
I don't remember. I don't know. There was stuff happening.
Oh, you missed it. You missed it.
I must have missed it.
You would remember.
You know, most of Ontario missed it because of the bad weather. Just saying. Everybody wanted to go to Niagara Falls and watch solar eclipse. Ooh.
What is your star sign? Somehow the moon hurt you. Like, I don't know.
I'm a Gemini. I don't know if what is that, air? Are we air sign?
No, you're not the air. You're like a double of something. I don't know anything about
What?
astrology.
There's like water, air, fire. I feel like I'm an air. I'm flowy. You know?
All right.
Okay.
You
Anyways,
be as you feel.
thank you.
We got to move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raptors, Homer
Right.
moment.
That team. Yes, indeed.
I know you did a piece about it on YouTube.
Yep. Recap
So
every
please,
game.
yeah, so you can check out the recap if you actually want details about the game. But
Yes.
we're here to talk about the residual emotions of a blowout and Emmanuel quickly going down first game of the season. Like,
Yeah, that's brutal.
What do we do with this?
It just sucks that injuries are what's holding us back from like just having a bad fun team. We just keep going back to having a bad team. Injuries ultimately are stopping us from having the fun part, right? Like RJ being hurt, the Raptors rookie Jacoby Walter being hurt, Kelly Olynyk not being able to play with Scottie, Bruce Brown not being able to play, and now Emmanuel quickly, the Raptors starting point guard. So it's tough because you want to just see it, you know, even if it's bad, you just want to see it. And I think this is what's fans are being deprived of, you know. It's unfortunate because, like, what are you going to do about injuries? They happen, part of sports. Like, you got to just chalk it up to that. But at the same time, sucks, dude. Sucks.
How would you react if Bruce Brown gave you a pair of cowboy boots?
Do you see the little cowboy hat I got going on here? I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hidden.
No, I can't. Can you grab it?
It's right there.
Can you show us? Can you wheel over?
Yeah, I can wheel over.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is the story behind this?
So shout out to Chelsea. You know Chelsea, right? Yeah. She was having a Barbie themed birthday party, karaoke, and she said to wear pink. And I'm like, what fucking better way to do that than to wear a pink hat? And so
you're like, I'm not just Ken, baby.
Yeah, I'm
both. Knuff.
I'm Knuff, exactly. So yeah, I got this little thing. And yeah, I love it. I don't wear it often, unfortunately. As you can tell, it's hard to really stylize this. But hey, you could use this. I just realized with your suit.
Oh, I have a pink suit. Yes, and it would go with that hat very well.
Think about
now
it.
I'll have to get boots.
Think about it. Think about it. It's here for you. It's here for you.
In Newmarket.
Yes. Yeah.
So far. I don't have a car. You're gonna have to like pick me up from a subway station.
There's transportation to get here. There's GO trains.
Oh, okay, I can take the GO.
Yeah.
That's a great hat though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if Bruce Brown gave me like cowboy boots, I'd be like, thank you. But in the back of my mind, I'd be like, you're still on this team.
Oh man, Bruce.
Like I keep forgetting he's still on the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. All the injuries are stopping us from having fun, and it's really unfortunate. And I feel like, you know, okay, let's talk about over exaggerations. It's still October, but are we just manifesting Cooper Flag like today? Or is this team not going to completely bottom out like that?
Okay, so overreaction, my initial overreaction is that this team will probably be worse than expected just because of the injuries that they're dealing with. Because the margin of error for this team is really, really small already when they have a fully healthy team. Without those guys, it's just a lot harder to be able to compete. And so, like, perfect form, this team can be a playing team, right? Like, pretty interesting. Scottie's going to be good. RJ's going to be good. IQ's going to be good. Their starting lineup looks good. Grady looks like he's taken a leap. Like, that exists, right? But without those options, you start plucking away at it like a Jenga thing, and it just starts to become a little bit more fragile, right? And so that's where I'm at, where it's like, it's tough to see this team reaching the expectations, even the low expectations that people have for them because of the early injuries and the early schedule. Like, you look at the schedule, you look at their next 2 months, and you're like, woof, where do we get the guaranteed wins here? You know? And so that's where I'm at with the Raptors right now. It's like if we want to look at it from a positivity perspective, I think everybody knows, even the Raptors front office knows that like the goal here is to be fun, be frisky, but also be able to get a good lottery pick and yeah, hopefully have a
and
chance at Cooper Flag.
rely heavily on nostalgia as much as possible.
Yes. I mean, we even got purple name tags here. Like everybody is leaning on the purple. Did you
like the purple uniforms on the red court?
It's a little bit off-putting.
I didn't like that combination. Like I thought like if we're going to bring back the purple, it should go with the purple court.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think I like.
What do I know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Stylized, vibes. But I also like, I think the fact that they're trying out and testing out purple is a good sign overall for them eventually just committing to it as a color. And like, I think everybody likes the purple a lot. And like, they would be silly to not just commit to purple as their color.
Listen, we can blame Gen X for this. Gen X were all like, it's Barney, it's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I like millennials Barney. Are like, I love dinosaurs. Yes. I grew up with dinosaurs, and it's always been cool to like dinosaurs.
Totally. Yeah.
It's generational, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's coming back, though. Dinosaur love is coming back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe something that could be like, it would probably look a little tacky, but would be fun is if we did nostalgic courts with nostalgic uniforms, right? So like, remember like when the court was like the Raptor claw?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like that could be kind of cool. But yeah, I didn't like the purple on red myself.
They're definitely going to do a bunch of courts. Like the in-season tournament one released today. I know that's not the only court they're going to use this year. There's going to be a couple more that they're going to throw out.
Yeah, well, the in-season tournament, the whole in-season tournament's just insane, but the courts are also crazy.
Yeah.
The Emirates Cup.
Oh, yeah. Sponsorship. Money.
Yeah, whatever. Buy me a flight somewhere and we'll talk. But it's fly me to Dubai. I'm not going there on my own.
That's the new is that the new Sinatra rendition?
Fly me to Dubai.
Let me stand among the sand.
We would smash at a hotel bar with that. In Dubai, we would smash.
You're at the Dubai Shangri-La.
Yeah.
I'm at
we would
piano.
Absolutely smash.
I'm at the piano and you walk in, you're like, can you play a tune?
Listen, I can be a cosplay jazz singer.
Yeah. I see the vision.
That's fantastic. All right. It was a disappointing home opener. These injuries are going to be rough. All these games are going to be so rough. I don't even know what to say about this team. I don't talk about the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know what to say about this team. How do I go honest?
Just keep counting, keep swimming. I actually had someone really in a really cute way.
Counting and swimming.
No. I honestly, someone in a really cute way the other day, I was like, man, I'm struggling. I got to do this. I got to do that. And they're like, just keep swimming. I'm like, wow, that's so kind. Just keep swimming.
I think you had to be there.
Yeah, you definitely have to be there. Yeah.
Just ruin your inspirational moment.
Yeah, so to Raptors fans, just keep swimming. Just trek along.
I think we just have to start manifesting Cooper Flag, because what is the point of being this injured?
One Raptor foot
on such a bad team if you're not going to end up with a #1 pick in a good draft. What is the point?
I in these scenarios, I put on my conspiracy theory hat and I say the NBA would rather perish than let Cooper Flag go to the Toronto Raptors.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm kidding, obviously.
No, there's a subreddit that's already on that. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, there probably is.
But no, I don't think the NBA hates Toronto the way.
No, I don't think they do either. I don't think
I think they realize there's a lot of money in this market, and it's one of the most expensive markets in the league.
Yeah.
It would be in their interest to keep it that way.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't think that would bother them so much. It would bother ESPN, but
Yes.
it wouldn't bother the NBA.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I'm gonna be manifesting it. I don't even know what the guy looks like. Maybe I'll have a Cooper Flex just to manifest him coming to Toronto so we can have a fun young team again.
Yes, please.
At the very least. Okay. I think it's time to move on to our Hottie highlight of the week.
Talk to me.
You've got some weird choices here. Okay. You have the grand opening of the Intuit Dome. Huge dome. Lots of new things happening. They have a virtual t-shirt throw thing going on, a fan wall, all toilets, all kinds of stuff. We have Grady Dick and T-Mac in a Shick Razer commercial.
Oh,
I believe that's the brand.
Let me hook you up. Let me hook you up. Wow.
With like the worst, with like the worst acting.
Yeah.
Like I actually want. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'll go on my tangent later. Third option.
Okay.
Is Wingstop becoming an official partner of the NBA and G
I saw
League?
this. I saw this. Are you a big Wingstop gal? You like Wingstop? You fan?
You don't?
I've had it once. I was a fan. The Korean barbecue strips, good. Very good.
There's too much fried chicken in my life in general, and I need to lay off a bit. But
me too.
To me, yeah. I just feel like stadium food needs improvement overall.
Oh, wait. So this will be in stadiums now?
Well, they're partnering, so why wouldn't they be in stadiums? What's the point? Is this just an advertising partner?
I don't know. Yeah, I tend to stop believing
I just assumed it meant they'd be in the stadiums.
For what it's worth, I have seen Wingstop in American stadiums. Like I went to Cleveland and they had Wingstop in their stadium. They had Chick-fil-A in their stadium.
And also. At the G League games. They had Wingstop at the G League games.
That would be sick. I would go just for the wings.
Totally. Oh, but just an advertising partner, I could give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just remove that from our Hottie highlight. We've got two considerations here.
That's so upsetting.
You mentioned the dome for Intuit Dome. A lot of innuendos there going on for the Hottie highlight. Grady and T-Mac also
with the bad acting,
with the terrible acting. Yeah, talk to me about your take here.
I want to know, any of the listeners, yourself as, have any of you bought a product because a Raptor player was in the commercial?
Admittedly, when I was in my adolescent years and Norm Powell had the GoDaddy commercial, I did set up a website thanks to Norm Powell. I did. I would be lying to you if I didn't. So Norm Powell with the little piano key thing he got going on. You remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
That did help me. Yes.
Okay.
It did help me sign up. But I haven't looked at a Fred VanVleet Razer commercial and been like, man, I got to get that trimmer. That looks fire.
Yeah, I never looked at like Pascal and Fred being like, wow, I can't wait to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You know what? I've wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because
after watching them specifically.
Craving wise, again, we got to understand. I like food.
I mean, I like food.
So you mean to tell me you've never craved a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Not after watching that commercial.
But you've never seen the commercial, thought peanut butter,
yeah, correct, jelly. Correct. That's what I'm saying. 1000% correct. Or Subway.
Yeah, definitely not. Scott, that actually, if anything, it actually
deters you from
yeah. I honestly, I don't know. I like there was the Osmos commercial too. Yeah.
Listen, if I want shawarma, I'm getting shawarma. They haven't influenced me to get shawarma.
You're right. Well, you're on the other side of the bell curve then. There's people out there who are like,
but I want to know. This is the kind of data I'm interested in.
That's important. It's important. Let us know. Let the people here know at Buckets and Tea if you really do succumb to the pressure of NBA advertisement. Please let us know.
Yes,
I agree. But I have succumbed to the pressure. GoDaddy has a client in
Well,
me.
it sounds like you needed a website.
Yeah, but I didn't know I needed a website until I knew Norm Powell needed a website.
Okay, it counts. It counts.
Thank you. By the way, my Hottie selection will actually be the Intuit Dome.
Yes, that is correct.
I know people are sick of Steve Ballmer, not fans of billionaires and whatnot, but the dude did cook with this stadium. He did a great job. The wall looks sick. The fan, the dome thingy, the wraparound Jumbotron is sick. He just did a great job with it. And I cannot wait to go and visit that arena. Because one, it's going to be cheaper than Staples Center or Crypto.com Arena.
Lame.
Yeah, it'll be sick. I can't wait. I think Intuit Dome is going to be like the spot to go to if you're in LA trying to watch a game. So pretty hyped. Pretty
Yeah,
hyped.
I mean, do you have plans to go there?
Not now, but
you will.
I will eventually.
As credited media.
Don't throw that name at me.
You host the NBA Daily Show on The Athletic.
It's true. That is
How
true.
are they not going to give it to you?
I know. I can't be getting big media allegations on me, you know?
Why?
You know, it's not good.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Tell us.
Yeah, you know,
because you won't be cool anymore.
Yeah, you won't. You can't get off the residue of cool. You know, it's funny. I was told today that my group of friends, including, you know, some people here on the Raptors Republic, you know, Samson and Trey and them, we're not actually cool people. We're nerds.
Who told you this?
Do you agree? Would you agree that we're nerds and not cool people?
Well, who said it though?
I can't reveal the source, unfortunately.
I mean, I think you guys are.
You're dancing around the.
But you're cool within the nerds.
That's like call. You know what? You're
just gonna log off?
No, that's like Peter Parker. I'm cool with being Peter Parker. Peter Parker is cool among the nerds. I'll take it.
Yeah. Don't you think?
I'm a man of science myself. You know?
Because only like the nerdiest Raptor people, you know, and there's a lot of us in the best way possible.
Thank you. In the best way possible.
Right? Because you're not nerds about like other things.
Well, Samson is a nerd about other things. You got it.
Okay, well, he's on the show next week, so I'll ask him about it.
Yes.
I'm actually booking guests in advance now.
Look at the organization.
I used to message everyone the night before.
And I still showed up 30 minutes late. I'm sorry, Cathryn.
No, it wasn't your fault. It's Toronto's fault.
It is.
The city's overrated. I don't know what we're going to do about it.
I need a second NBA team in Canada, man.
Oh, where? Montreal?
Sure.
No, what city do you want to live in?
I don't know. I've heard Vancouver is nice. I've never really been, though.
Okay, so you want another team in Vancouver.
Yeah, sure.
It would help you with the Daily Show because you'd be 3 hours behind, so then you wouldn't be recording at 1 a.m. You'd be doing it at like 10 p.m., which would be a major quality of life difference. I gotta say,
I did when I was out there a couple of weeks ago in West Coast time. It was like the best thing ever. 4 o'clock and basketball is starting.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And I'm done by like 10.
Yeah.
What? That's unbelievable. I could still go out after basketball. Like, it's bizarre. And I'm very jealous of West Coast people.
Mm-hmm. Well, manifest it. Well, I manifest a Cooper flag.
Yes. Do so.
We should wrap it up there. Oh, almost at 1 hour exactly. Look at us.
We got it.
Thank you so much for joining me. Let everyone know what you're up to again and where they can find you on the internets.
Yeah. The Twitter handle is right there at @Baraheni. I post all my work on there. You can, like we've talked about here, The Athletic Daily is the podcast that we do for basketball. And yeah, Raptors Republic, subscribe, listen to Cathryn, listen to our other shows. We got some bangers. We got some good stuff cooking in the works. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that fun jazz. Yeah, that's all I
should do that off the top, but I never do.
That's fine. You can just ask your team of
You're the team.
I know. Ask the people, the great people at Raptors Republic to add a subscribe button.
I want a video of you asking people to subscribe to this podcast.
Okay.
I think that would be better.
I can do that for you. You know what? I think it's yeah, well, we'll talk. We got some things in the works. It's all good. We'll talk.
All right. Thank you everyone so much. Thanks for tuning in, listening, subscribing, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.